Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are now recording. So, Murad, I heard you. How's it going, my man?
Good morning, Rick. Everything is good?
Everything is good in the hood, right? Good.
Yep. And today
All
is the
right.
best day to catch people at home if you guys decide to call.
I agree 100%. 100%. It's a splendiferous day to catch people at home because I drove into the office this morning and I'm like, where the hell is everybody? What is this, like an apocalypse going on? Oh, yeah, it's a holiday. I forgot it was President's Day. Okay, so let's do this. Hold on one second, folks. Unfortunately, I had to mute everybody, so keep the recording. But I want you guys, it's a small group today. It's a holiday today, so let's have people ask questions, and that would be great. You just got to hit *6 on your phone when you want to, okay? And it'll all be wonderful. Okay, so let's get into it. Today, what I want to talk about is I don't have an interview today. Today is just me. So today I want to talk about low inventory market. Okay, as you guys can see, what's going on right now is the inventory is low. Personally, I love this market. You know, it's I consider it to be a really rock solid market. Okay, if you're in tune, what's going on? Okay, so today's the 17th of February. That means we're through 1.5 months this year. Okay, I always like to ask myself, am I following my schedule? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? All right, because one of the things I'm hearing is, and this is what I hear all the time, you know, it really comes down to how committed you are to your goals. I'm busy. I'm running around with buyers. I got stuff going on. I put a couple under contract. When did you prospect last? Oh, last week. So remember, prospecting is kind of like drinking water or eating. It's something you do every day. It doesn't take up a huge part of your day, but it's something you should be doing every day. Okay, just like when you get too busy, your pipeline will run out. Okay, and I know it's only February, and I'm telling you that, but I'm seeing a lot of things in my coaching. I mean, I got people doing deals. I have a few people that have been in the business a long time who have had their best Januaries ever. Okay, and I think a lot of that is based on what you've been doing in October, November, December of last year. Okay, so California basically has no inventory, 1.1, at least the markets we're in, Orange County, down in Temecula, over to the desert. We have 1.1 months inventory. The desert has a little bit more. Arizona and Nevada have about 2.5 months of inventory. Okay, Scottsdale, Arizona, and then Las Vegas. So, and they both went down about a third, well, not quite a third. I think Nevada was about 28%. January to January, year over year, and I think Phoenix was about 30%. But that's still a lot. That's still a lot. Basically, both markets have 2 months of inventory, a little bit more than that, and then everything that comes on, that many are selling the same month, and almost that many closing, which is folks, it's a healthy real estate market. Basically, it's one of those years. I've been doing this 35 years. There's probably been 10 or 15, probably about 10 of these, about a third of my, that one of those years you go, you know what, this is an incredible year to be in real estate. And I think this year and next year, and maybe even further, but definitely this year and next year are going to be like that. But if you're not, taking advantage of, keeping your pipeline full, you're never going to maximize this experience. Okay? So how do you keep, and once again, all you got to do is hit *6 on your phone, and I can hear you. If anybody has a question, please feel free to ask me. But I'm just going to go through the basics right now. So should you be working with buyers? Yes. Here's one of my biggest tips ever. Okay, work with them in the afternoon. Can I go see that home at 10? I have an appointment at 10, but I can show it to you at 1. Same with home inspections. Same with anything. Nothing in the morning if possible. Now, look, I know there's no perfection. I didn't do this 100% of the time, but I would say I did it 90% of the time. So just don't schedule anything in the morning except for your workout first thing in the morning before anything else is going on. Okay, so the way to take advantage of a declining inventory market is by controlling your own destiny, and that means you have to be prospecting every day. So that's point one. You got to prospect every day. And you got to follow your number. If I've been in the business 10 minutes and I want to close 15 deals this year, I got to talk to 15 people a day, 60 days a work quarter, 240 days in a year. I sold 15 last year. I want to sell 30 this year. Difference between the two, 15, got to do the same thing. Okay, it's that simple, folks. And that means every day. Okay, every day, Monday through Friday, or if you take Wednesdays off and work Saturdays, whatever. I'm talking about a 5-day week, not a 7-day week. Now, in today's market, some of the best ways are when you're having your active open houses. Get out and knock the neighborhood. It's the number one reason. Even in some of these that have a, no solicitation rule, the ones that are a little less militant, you can at least get out and invite 50 neighbors. If they find you and stop you, oh well, you still talk to 50. Okay, but for most neighborhoods, it's fine. Get out there, invite the neighborhood, print out, go into the VAC, print out. It's the perfect excuse to prospect. Okay, remember, that's all an open house is to me anyway, is an excuse to prospect that turns into a free retail store to collect leads when you're doing it right. So farming activities, just listed, just sold. If I have a listing in a neighborhood that's not my farm, so what? Do the same farming activities. Have the open house, knock the neighborhood. And I would do. If it's not my farm, I would probably do at least 200, if not 500. Remember, if you're having an open house on Saturday, you could turn this into knock 200 doors a day for 5 days. If it's your farm, do your whole farm. If it's not your farm, maybe do a couple of days, knock 300-400 homes, and then invite everybody to the open house on Saturday. Okay, because you're gonna find other homes in the area. I was just on the phone with a woman from California, and she sold a $1.1 million property, and the neighbor came over, and now she's probably gonna list that house too because she's prospecting. I mean, you got to be prospecting. You can't expect them to come see you, folks. Okay, remember, you have to get up and make this happen. Waiting is not a sales technique. Okay, waiting should never be in your business plan. I mean, you have time off, yes, but that's scheduled in. But in your business plan, waiting is not like a bullet point. Well, I'm going to talk to expireds. I'm going to wait. No, waiting is not good. Waiting is the enemy. Okay, so that's one way is around your active open houses. Here's the key word, active. And then remember, after the open house, you got to follow up 6, 7, 8 times, sometimes before they even call you back. All right? So there you go. So that's one way you can definitely increase. The other way is, just plain just listed, just sold calls or door knocking. Either way, that works too. With phone challenges today, especially with the auto dialers, I would say that getting out door knocking is a fabulous way to do it, and almost nobody does it. I just finished another success series on Friday. Okay, I'm doing actually 2 of them next week in Arizona, the all-day shorter versions. I'm doing one at the Gilbert office on Tuesday, tomorrow. And then Wednesday and Friday, I'm doing it at the Kierland office because we have our awards on Thursday in Arizona. Next week in Nevada and the following week in California. Okay, so, when I ask people to raise their hands, okay, who do you think's farming your neighborhood? I would say more than half the hands go up. Okay, how many of those agents that you get mail from have knocked on your door? They all come down, with the exception of one. And then I said to them, well, how many times did that agent knock on your door? Once. That's not farming. Okay, that's not farming. Okay, so farming means I go out into my farm at least 4 times a year, 6 or 7 is better, with a just listed, with a just sold. I'm having an open house. The hot buyer. By the way, the hot buyer is critical today, so let's jump into that one. So I have a buyer, very common in California right now, especially, and happening more in Arizona and Nevada. I have a buyer, okay, that I can't find a house for. This would be my question. Okay, Mr. Buyer, if you could live in any neighborhood, which one would it be? Or even 2. Okay, great. I'm going to need you to hire me. You need to be my client, buyer broker agreement. and I'm going to go out and knock those neighborhoods for you. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on. I'd even ask, can I take a pic? If they have kids, send me a picture, and I would go out and show. Hey, look, these people right here. Okay, I'm looking for a home like yours in this neighborhood. Have you ever thought about selling yours? Talk about giving you juice to get out there and do it too. Confidence. Okay, so that's a great way to the hot buyer script. So that would be the fourth reason. See, I put those all in farming activities. Just sold, listed, just sold, open houses, and the hot buyer. Those are all farming, geographic specific areas that you can prospect. Okay? So there's another way. All right? So here's another way. I want to do for sale by owners. For sale by owners are an unbelievable lead source in a market like this because they're becoming more and more of them. Even if you go visit one or two a week. First off, you should be previewing property. Secondly, why not preview property you have a chance to list? It just makes sense. Okay, so I go out. First with me, I call first. Hi, this is Rick with Berkshire Hathaway. I see you're on the market for sale by owner. Good for you. I'm just calling to see if you're cooperating with real estate agents. Okay, and then you go over. It's the only yes or no question in all the scripts, by the way, because even if they say no, you repeat and approve. No, interesting. What if I have a buyer willing to pay a price acceptable to you? What should I do then? Well, no, you can take them over here. Well, that's why I'm calling. Then you get into the rest of the script. Okay, so you're just looking for people that are actually moving, because then the next question or the next statement is, as a real estate agent in our area, I like to keep up with all the inventory, MLS, and what's on the market for sale by owner. So I'm going to be in your area. Okay, next Tuesday at 4 or would Friday at 1 work better for me to preview your property? Okay, Friday at 1, great. Can't wait to see you. By the way, when you sell this home, where are you going? Well, we have to be to Seattle. You're moving to Seattle. That's awesome. What's in Seattle? And you just follow the script. All right, and when do you want to be there? All right, so now I have somebody who's actually moving. I'm going to do my FSBO process because even NAR tells you that on average it's about 4 to 6 weeks for them. They need to fail, okay, meaning that they're going to try it on their own. 94% end up listing, and it takes and they sacrifice the 6% that actually sell themselves. They sacrifice 11 to 13% of their equity doing that. Now, I don't tell the FSBO that. I just want to know that because all those numbers tell me one thing: I am not wasting my time going out to visit FSBOs. And look, they're selling their home. Okay, they have the hand raised, okay, as part of the market looking to sell their property. And then we don't go see them. I've never understood that. People will, and look, should you farm? Yes. But remember, when you're farming, even in a great area where let's say there's an 8% turnover rate, that means 8 homes in 100, or if I have 1,000, homes in my farm, that's 80. 80 homes selling. I'm calling them all, door knocking them all, mailing them all, dropping off flyers, looking for the 80 of the 1,000. FSBOs eliminate part of that process for you. They've advertised, I'm selling. You're getting right to the horse's mouth. Boom. Okay, so that's why I've always, and look, you're not going to get them all right, but it's really a good process for you to get, look, it'll give you confidence. The more you go see people who are actually moving and converse with them, the better you become, the more confident you become, the more you're able to handle rejection. The number one thing that stops most agents is handling rejection. It's always been quizzical to me that you don't even know these people. They're saying no to you. Who cares? Don't take it personally. They're not rejecting you. They're just rejecting your service at this time. That's all it is, until you show them that you have value. Whether for sale by owner, that could take 2 weeks, that could take 4 weeks, that could take 6, depending on their time frame. Some of them start real early. Okay, so for sale by owners are a great source. Don't tell yourself you're wasting your time because you're not. All right, so that's another group. Another group are expired listings, and I would say expireds are in two categories: new and old. New expireds comes out every day. Boom, give them a call. Statistically, they list within 48 hours. Okay, the new expireds, and I'm going to say over half that time it's relisting with the same person, which a lot of times to me is I don't understand why they do that. Okay, not selling is okay with me, so let me try it again. That's basically what they're saying. But until you get them on the phone, they don't know they have options. All right, so if you're going to call new expireds, I call it declaring war. It's got to be your attitude. I'm getting over there. I'm showing them what I can do, especially if they're motivated. But really, only if they're motivated. But pretty much, most expireds are. All right. Then there's the old expireds, which are a tremendous lead source. I'm going to use Vegas numbers because I know that Vegas, there's 12,000 expireds a year, about 1,000 a month on average, and about 100 of those don't relist. So every month you go back, you're going to find between 75 and 150, call it 100 average, and that's a tremendous source to call. Okay, so I see you're on the market a while back. Your home didn't sell. I was just calling to see when you plan on putting your home back on the market and getting it sold this time. Okay, so that's yet another incredible source to get business from. All right. So far we've covered farming activities, which really is just listed, just sold, okay, open houses, and the hot buyer. The hot buyer can also be targeted for your buyers. Hey, we can't find your home. I'm going to go find it for you. It's the easiest way to get a buyer broker agreement signed too. You have to hire me. No. If I'm going to go knocking these neighborhoods, I'm going to tell them I have a client. If I don't have a client, I can't do it. You need to be my client. Okay, so that's a tremendous source as well. Then you can, while you're calling and wheeling and dealing, especially if you're in your farm, you can be using, you can be doing for sale by owner previews. By the way, as a company, we have an incredible tool for those and the old expireds, which is called the buy-side report, which only about 30% of you actually use it. You should use that buy-side report. It's incredibly insightful to a seller. It makes you look like a marketing genius. It makes it look like you already have a tremendous demand, because you do, for the property. I would use those for old expireds, new expireds, for sale by owners. I'm door knocking my farm. Picture this. Okay, so I'm having an open house on Saturday. I'm knocking my 1,000 homes. I've got my just listed script. And in my farm of 1,000 homes, on average, there's going to be about 50 to 75 of them that were on the market in one time in the last 3 or 4 years and didn't sell, or on the market for sale by owner. And I bring you a buy-side report. So not only when I go door knocking for an open house, I'm super targeted. It makes you look like you are in charge, like you're watching the market. You're paying attention. You're a professional. Okay, you have all the tools that make you look super professional. But it requires a little homework. Okay, you got to do a little homework. Like my friend Eric Sine in Arizona, when he goes out door knocking with the buy-side report, he's prepared the day before to go the next morning. He knows exactly where he's going to go, what he's going to bring. And if you listen to his podcast that I did with him, Eric Sine, Saenz, he tells you exactly what he does. Okay, so that's a great one to listen to. By the way, folks, remember this call and all my other calls end up on my podcast. If you have the podcast app, okay, on your iPhone, you just touch that, hit the magnifying glass, type in my name, last name Berube, and the same thing with an Android phone, except it's the Podbean, Podbean app that you download. And then while you're doing all that, you might as well just get that YouTube app out and subscribe to my channel too. Same thing, you just type in my name. All right, a lot of you have, by the way, so thank you. And I put new videos on there at least a couple of weeks, sometimes 3 or 4, all about selling real estate. If you haven't noticed, that's what I'm about. Okay, so at least at work, that's what I'm about. Okay, all about helping you guys sell in whatever volume you decide to. Okay, so now we've covered all of those, and we've covered new expireds and old expireds. Okay, so you can do the same thing with them. You can go out door knocking them, which I recommend, especially if it's in the area that you want to cover. And the new expireds today. That's what Eric does, and that's why he gets a lot of those, because he physically goes to the door. Yeah, people go, everybody's calling them. Well, first off, that's not true. But let's say it is true. Well, nobody's door knocking them now. Well, how do I know that? Go out and prove me wrong. I guarantee you. There's not a line at the front door. Okay, hey, there are certain parts of California, South Orange County, I would say LA probably, and San Diego, but Arizona, Nevada, most of the places we're in California, you have no competition. And you know what? When you have all the tools that we have and you have no competition, you look pretty damn good. As a matter of fact, when you have competition, you actually look even better. Okay, so remember, even better. Yes, I just said that. It's true. When you're using all the stuff that we teach at Success Series, like a pre-listing package, and you're pre-qualifying, and you're looking super professional. You really are. When you're not doing those things, you're looking like everybody else on the board, and that's not a dig, it's just a fact. Okay, I know for a fact something simple like a pre-listing package separates you from everybody else, especially when you factor in what we have for tools and marketing in our VAC and Resource Center. And we have a tremendous marketing department, okay, that Gordon has set up with Maria Hill and so forth. So pretty much have a pretty rock solid company here, folks. Take advantage of it. I would. Okay, and our market share is really good in all three markets. Okay, so I've gone on for 22 minutes here. Does anybody have a question for me about making it happen in a market like this? Anybody? Don't be shy. Hit *6 on your phone. I can hear you. Okay, *6 on your phone. Don't be shy. All right,
Hi,
so I'm going to keep going then. All right, go ahead, Murad.
Hi, Rick. You said a key thing here that what we need to present here to all potential clients, we need to show them value. Because once you show them value, they will work with you regardless. They will sign anything for you. But over the phone, one-on-one, or when you meet them door knocking or an open house, the best way to get actually legit information is when you show them, you focus just on showing the value, they will come to you, they will put their guards down, and they will work with you.
Yes, so true, Murad, absolutely. And a matter of fact, like at an open house, when they come to my open house, once I've used it as an excuse to prospect, and now I'm giving them information, the more knowledgeable I am about the property, the neighborhood, the better I look, the more they want to look with me, and the more I ask questions. Okay, and I come across. As a matter of fact, a lot of people will make sure you have the right information if you act like that when they go to your open house. I know you're really good at that. Good. Very good point. Anything else you want to add? You good?
All good, sir. Time to call the people.
Yes. Anybody else have a question? I got a couple more points I'm going to give you here, too. Anybody else have a question or thought or a point like Murad was great? That was a great point. Great point. Show the value. You have it. The other thing I would say is, in order to maximize this market is, and I know this sounds cliche, but you can't be attached to the outcome. You go out prospecting, you're just going out to have a good time and have great conversations with people. The leads and the deals will follow. If you come across as desperate and needy, no one wants to work with you, especially the newer people. You don't have to act new. You don't have to act desperate. You just act confident, competent, and natural, and people want to work with you, especially as the market gets tighter. Okay, the second thing I would say to not maximize this market is, don't talk too much. Ask questions. Let them talk. That's how you win people over, like Murad just said. You make them feel comfortable, you show them the value, they'll want to work with you. All right? Use the word we instead of I all the time. Okay, it sounds like, like when I go door knocking, I don't say I have a home in, we just listed a home in your area. It sounds better. All right, so definitely, and the other thing I would say is, in order to increase your value, become more versatile. Become more versatile, meaning that you understand the personality styles. All right, if you don't understand the personality styles, you can read a book called Versatile Selling by the Wilson Learning Institute, or you can come to my Success Series. I have them all the time. I'm having 2 more next week in Arizona. Like I said, Gilbert office on Tuesday, and I'm having it at the Careland office on Wednesday and Friday, because right in the middle is the awards on Thursday there. I just finished one in Nevada. I've got some coming up in California shortly as well. And there's always a real estate success series going on near you. Jump in. You're not above being trained, folks. Trust me on this. Okay, so being versatile is completely helpful. And then I would say like Murad just said, make people important by being in the moment. Nothing more irritating to somebody when they come to the open house and you're not there. Even though you're physically there, you're not mentally there. Be engaged. Make eye contact. Let them know they're important. Dig deep. I like to make them laugh. Enjoy themselves. This is buying a house. It should be exciting. It should be fun. Or selling one. This isn't brain surgery. This isn't somebody extremely sick. This should be a fun, happy, exciting time. Some people get a little stressed out about it, but it's your job to make them feel calm. How do you make them feel calm? Because you're an incredibly knowledgeable professional who knows what's going on, who can steer them through the whole, process. Okay? So that's it. All right, there we go. Anybody else have a question for me today? Questions, comments, epiphanies, aha, quantum leap moments. We'll cover it all today, folks. All right, well, listen, we'll be doing this again in a week. All right, so mark your calendars. Thanks for showing up on this wonderful President's Day. Happy President's Day to everybody. Once again, I'm going to tell you, even with these crazy politicians running around the country right now, we still live in the best country in the world. Thank God every day. I know I do. That's how I start my day, gratitude. Even when things aren't going perfectly, just remember this. This is one of my affirmations too. 95% of the planet would trade, and it's probably more like 97, 98%, would trade places with me in a heartbeat, even on my worst day. Remember that. All right, you're blessed. Keep it rocking. You guys are the best. We'll pick this up in exactly 1 week. Woo! Go get them, folks.